So there's my introduction. Thanks, Dave. Did you notice anything slightly different about those people who gave little testimonials at the end from your average entrepreneur? Did you notice anything slightly different about them?
We're smiling.
Wow, is that my phone? That sounds like something I have on my phone, like thrash metal. All of those people come from heart. They're all highly successful people in their own right, but they all come from here. This is the biggest shift that's going to happen on this planet, and it's happening right now, and if you're not part of it, you're missing out. People are stopping doing business with people who come straight from here, who are all about the money. I don't do business with those people anymore, personally. And I notice many, many other successful people don't do it either. And if they do, they feel trapped into those people. Entrepreneurship with heart and with purpose is where the world is heading. So my little presentation today really is in a couple of parts. But firstly, what I wanted you to do is take a pen and a piece of paper. We've got some great music here from a good friend of Glenn's and mine, James Reid, the #1 songwriter in New Zealand. And it's just 1.5 minutes long. And what I want you to do is write down what you do to make money. Write down what you do to make money. What you do to make money. You've got 90 seconds, so no mucking around.
No, it's pretty close. Actually, yeah, it's basically something that we'll check out.
About halfway through, keep writing. Write down everything you do to make money. Okay, time to stop. Put your pen down. Right, we'll get back to that later. So the music you were listening to then was from James Reid. He's had 5 #1 albums, over 17 songs in the top 10 in New Zealand. And when he first came out with his first album in 1998, and I heard on the radio, I go, I really love this guy. You know, most of the stuff he does with his band is a bit more hard-edged than what you heard there. That's his solo album. And I loved it, and I thought, wow, I'd really like to meet this guy one day and hang out with him. And then it was weird because about 4 days ago, as I'd finished having dinner at his house and we'd been sitting there writing music together, I got in my car, I drove out his driveway and went, oh my God, this guy's like one of my really good friends now. I've just been writing music together with like the #1 guy in New Zealand. And I realised it's because I set my intention to meet and do stuff with him, because he's actually going to be doing a whole lot of stuff with Rock Your Life over the next few years. To meet and do stuff with him, I set it, and then I did exactly what Glenn was just sharing with you. I let it go and just let the world take care of it. And how the world took care of it was Facebook, so social media. And we became friends on social media, and we, you know, he sort of knew who I was, and of course I knew who he was. And then I turned up to have coffee one day with a friend of mine who's sitting there with James. And then we just start talking, and we're instantly connected, and we have a great connection, and then we just became friends. This is how the world works. So I'm going to be sharing with you today some of how the world works. Because at the moment, Don't you love Bitstrip on Facebook? Is anybody? That's my Bitstrip character on Facebook, right? I did Dave's Bitstrip character. You know, go and look at Dave's Bitstrip character on Facebook. It is absolutely identical to Dave. Much better job on Dave than I have on myself. But for many of us, we look at this and go, actually, where we are right here in our life now, is this even the right ladder? And who the hell's up there anyway, and why am I climbing this thing right here? For many of you sitting here, that's the number one question you've got in your mind right now. So, when I was asked the question earlier today, first thing, why did I shift out of corporate and into doing this? The answer was because I was totally on the wrong ladder. I didn't even like my job. You know, I always thought I wanted to be a corporate CEO. Thank God I never did that. I was the next level down, general manager. There was 8 of us reported to the CEO. 1,600 employees, 450 of them underneath me. I was responsible for $250 million a year worth of sales. What a boring job that had no purpose to anything that would have done the world any good. Most of us don't even realise until too late in life we've been on the wrong ladder. So today, what I'm going to be sharing with you in this session up until lunch is I'm going to be talking about you. And I'm going to be doing that from my own personal experience and what we've observed now having done this for 10 years and work with over 250,000 entrepreneurs in everywhere from Latvia to Singapore. And it doesn't change much. Any Latvians in the audience, by the way? I love Riga, it's such a great city. And then this afternoon, I'm going to be taking this about you and sharing about your business, about you, the entrepreneur, and I'm going to be showing you techniques and simple ways for you to actually grow your business fast and for you to understand your business at a much greater level than what you do currently this morning. So that's where we are. Now I have another question for you. And this is another little minute of music. You may have heard this track. And this is the question, who are you? So again, for 90 seconds, right next to where you wrote down what you do for money, I just want you to answer that question, who are you? 90 seconds, start writing now.
Tu m'as promis.
Who are you?
Et je t'ai cru.
Okay, our 90 seconds is up. So, now what I'd like you to do is look down the list of who are you, and I want you to cross out anything where you've written what you do or what you have. So I'm a speaker, crossed out. I'm an author, cross it out. That's what I do. I live in the Greek Islands. That's what I have. Cross it out. This is a test. We are at SMU here. There will be an exam on this, and it's happening in 4 minutes. Please do not be disturbed. If you get a pass mark of over 90%, you will get your grade and not be taxed by the government today. So we cross that out? Don't come and check. Let's check. Cross out everything where you've written down what you have. Yep. Or... So, is this who you are? Okay. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Yep. Well, you're approachable. That's good. I'm glad I actually stood here and talked to you. There's so many people over there that aren't approachable. Going to come up here, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
No, I don't want you to say
No, okay, that's good. I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at Barbara. Right, that's good. Excellent, Barbara. Well done. Good. Okay. Anybody here actually pass university? Yeah, you pass university. So this is a simple instruction. Hugh, you'll have done this very well, I know. You passed life. The reason why I ask is because what you will find if you listen to my instructions, crossing out what you do and what you have, most of you won't have a lot left written on that page. Because what Dave and I have found in working with entrepreneurs for all this time, 95% of people don't know who they are. It's the single biggest issue for people today. We think that we're an accountant. That's what you do. We think we're a mum with 2 children. That's what you have. What I ask is, who are you? In here. Who are you? I guarantee if Glenn did that exercise, probably wouldn't be anything crossed out. Very little. It's very complete with who he is. Very complete. I'm a truth seeker. I'm a scholar. Scholar means observant. Right? I'm an observer. That's who I am. I'm a friend. That's who I am. Now what I want you to do is, with what you've got left that you haven't crossed out, look at your first list. And then look at your list of the ways you make money, and look at who you are, and start crossing out things on the ways you make money that are not about who you are. Cross out things on the ways you make money that are not aligned with who you are. And I think that if you've done this honestly and you understand this, again, for most of you in my experience, you're not going to have a lot left written on that page. For most of us in this room at SMU, on the 11th of January 2014, most of us are making money doing things that are against who we are inside of us and not commensurate or not aligned with the person we want to be in our life. And I'm sorry guys, I love Singapore, but in Singapore you are so conditioned by the schooling system here, so conditioned, that some of you won't even realise this for 30 years unless you travel extensively. I didn't. I realise it now. I didn't realise it 10 years ago. You won't even realise that you're not doing what you should be doing because you don't know who you are yet. Challenging, eh? Who's after me? Bad luck. Anyway, we're lunch break. That's right. That's what I Seriously though, all jokes aside, I love kidding around because what Glenn said at the end is absolutely true. If this ever stops being fun for me, I'm going to stop doing it. Every single thing that we do for fun. And we find ways for it to enhance who we are. And because of that, money comes. It's a phenomenal experience. It's such a different way to live your life. And it's scary at first. But boy, does it work. It's amazing. See, at the moment, this is most people in the world. Most people in the world feel alone. They don't feel supported. They don't feel encouraged. They don't feel empowered. They feel insular and alone. They don't feel like there's somewhere to turn. They don't feel like they're listened to by their family and friends. And in entrepreneurship, you can double or triple this. The number of entrepreneurs that feel alone in the world is just amazing. So we're all about changing that. So we started something which I'm going to talk to you about in the context of my presentation called the Transformational Leaders Academy. And it actually really did come, Matthew, out of this book, which was the Transformational Leaders book, which wasn't written by us, but featured a lot of our stories in there. Dave's in there, Matthias is in there, Glenn's in there, I'm in there. Featured a lot of our stories about 3 or 4 years ago. And we realised that the number one thing that's missing on the planet at the moment is communities of like minds. Now, Apple have done this very well. Because of all their Apple forums and, you know, we've all got our Apple stuff, they've created a sense of community really well in the technology space that is Apple. Facebook's done it in the technology space that is Facebook. But in entrepreneurship, it rarely exists. And yes, I'm not saying there aren't entrepreneur communities like BNI and all of those sort of things, but like minds? No. Open memberships for anybody who can pay the money. That's not what we're about. We're about creating things where people of like get together. So, everything is about more than just making money. Those 3 pictures up there depict lifestyle, legacy, and love. That's what we build into every business that we're involved in. When we come up with a business idea and we look to get involved in a business, if it doesn't improve our lifestyle, if it doesn't have a legacy that can exist past us, that gives something really positive to the world, its people, its animals, whatever, and if it's not something that we can fall in love with and fall in love with our clients and have a relationship of love, I'm not interested. My life's too short. I'd rather just go back to Corfu and lie on the beach. So everything that we do and the communities that we build and the businesses that we build are about lifestyle, legacy and love. And lifestyle to me is not getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, turning on your laptop and doing 5 hours of emails, then going to 28 meetings, and then feeling stressed, and then doing your accounting at night. That doesn't sound like lifestyle to me. Lifestyle is about building your businesses around how you want to live and what's important to you. My number one, my personal number one thing that I'm all about for me is travel and new experiences. So everything that I build has to allow me to have travel, new experiences, meet cool people, reconnect with people. Some of you in this room I haven't seen for a year, and it's great to reconnect, right? And over the years you become closer and closer. That's stuff that's personally important to my anchor. I'm not saying it has to be important to you. But what I'm saying is if you don't build things around what's important to you, you're always going to be a pawn in somebody else's game. Instead of being the king of your own game. Very much what Glenn was saying about being the person who makes everybody else look good. And yes, if you've ever watched anything like Troy with Brad Pitt, you've watched Glenn Levy. So that simple change of saying, I need to own who I am and share what I wish to share and give what I wish to give to the world instead of being a puppet for somebody else, which is why I got out of corporate life at the same time, allows, and you know what? People go, oh, aren't you worried that it's so unsecure being an entrepreneur? It's so much more secure than being in a corporate. Because we splashed and burned everybody at times in the corporates. As an entrepreneur, if something's not working, I just employ the best 4-letter word I've ever heard in entrepreneurship. Next. That's what it is. So more than about making money. This is a beautiful thing that has been trained into you by the Singaporean educational system. How does it work? How can I make more money? How can I get a better house? How can I get a better job? How can I get better friends? How? This is what I think of how. Right? When somebody asks you how, that's how you feel. You feel talked down to, belittled. You feel unlistened to. You feel small. Try it. Those of you that have got children, next time they come up with a bright idea, ask them, how are you going to do that? And watch their spirits die in front of you. Would that be a good ninja technique?
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm going to kill you because I'm 6'6". How? I've not really thought of that, actually. See, the problem is that what we have to do is we have to change the question, then we'll change the result. You're getting what you're getting in your life, not because you don't have the answers, but because you don't know the questions. And it's interesting, Dave's given you already 3 or 4 occasions to ask questions in this summit. Yet many people are like, oh, I don't even know what to ask, and oh, what would I ask? And if I put my hand up, I'm going to be stupid, and oh my God, I'm sitting in a lecture room, and I would never ask a question in a lecture, because the lecturer goes, you're stupid. No. That's conditioning, right? Get rid of that. Do you think Glenn got as good as he got just by not asking questions? He asked them of everybody. He's a knowledge seeker in everything that he does. Change your question, change your result. And he said it. He said the question that you need to change it to. Why? So this was my number one question that I asked myself 10 years ago. Why would I even get out of bed and go to work? Why would I? To make money? If I wanted to do that, if I wanted to make money and exist, why don't I just get a part-time job? Something that I can get maybe, just enough money to live the life I want to live, and, I don't have to worry about anything except for 4 or 5 hours a day. Is that a life? No. See, the question why is an opening question. Can I see a show of hands? Who here in the room is a parent? Who's a parent? Okay. Parents. Notice we sat them all in the back rows for you guys, right? Parents. What's the number one question little children ask you?
Why?
Why, Mummy? Why? Why, Mummy? Why? They didn't learn that. They came in from the other place, wherever that is, based on your religious or spiritual beliefs, with that question pre-programmed into them, because that's the right question. And then they had it beaten out of them to stop asking why. Next time somebody asks you for a meeting, ask them why. I learned this one from my good friend Justin Herald in Australia, Australia's #1 entrepreneur in 2006. Somebody asked him for a meeting, he asked why. And they said, what do you mean? He said, well, what's the meeting all about? And then they tell him, he goes, well, here's the answer, now you don't need to meet with me. I just saved you and me an hour of our time. I've taken my meetings from an hour down to 45 minutes, down to half an hour. I could get them down to 20 minutes, but I don't want to appear rude. Because you just cut the crap. That way you have a lot more time to live a lifestyle and have fun. Start asking that question, stop asking how. You never need to know how. You do need to know who. Who always knows how. You want to make a movie? Glenn, how many movies you been in?
Oh, cripes, 50-something, 56.
Right. Do you think you might know something about how to make a movie? So I made a movie. I didn't know how to make a movie. Do you think I might have asked him? And he gave me the best possible advice I could ever be given. And it took 30 seconds. He said, Mike, you're a songwriter. I said, yep. He said, just write the script like you'd write a song. It's got to have a bridge, it's got to have a melody line, it's got to have a beat, it's got to have a rhythm. And I'm like, oh my God, that's genius. So that's what I did, and that tied the whole movie together. Then I just went and found other experts to do other things, and there's your movie. Hello, good to go. Next. All right? Start asking different questions. Here's the result of being alone. I want you to read these things. Let's read them out. What's the result of being alone? First one, small thinking. Second one,
Insular.
Third one, success is shallow. Fourth one, scared and scarcity. And fifth, we did all this for what? We find it amazing when we talk to people, people say, oh, I want to be in business by myself. We go, really? Yeah? Well, good luck with that one. You're going to be pretty lonely, and then a year later, how's it going? Oh, I'm so alone. Nobody listens to me. You got exactly what you asked for. You don't want to be alone. Unless you really want to be alone, and then that might be 10% of you, and good for you. That's awesome. That's the result of being alone. You start trying to ring fence everything. You're so scared that somebody's going to take from you. You're not going to share an idea because somebody may steal it. Years ago when I started to coach people, people would say, well, I want to tell you my idea, but it's confidential. I'm not sure I should share it with you. And I'm like, you don't know me very well. If you don't think I just had 100 ideas while you were rambling then, you know, why would I even do your idea? I'm going to have better ideas anyway because that's where my ego's at, right? Most people don't want to steal your idea. Sure, be discerning. You don't want to be alone. It's not a good feeling. You want to have something different than that. You want to feel supported. When you feel supported, let's read these words out. Empowered. What's the next one?
Encouraged.
What's the next one?
Part of something more.
The next one.
Success.
Fulfilling. And abundance.
Abundance.
This is how you want to feel. This will make you feel amazing. When you feel so abundant that you don't care if somebody does something because it doesn't matter. Your best client wants to cancel their business with you. That's fine. I could better find out why so that I can improve my service, but I don't need to be attached to that. When you're alone, you internalize that and then you go, my clients are this and that and the other, and I'm going to spread bad words about him and all that. That's what those people do. Do you want to be that person? No. See, the problem is that we don't know enough about the world. Hands up. Who has a will? Right. See, those of you that have a will, congratulations, by the way, because most people don't, you have a plan for your death. Hands up who has a plan for their life. Yeah. Oh, good. In this room, a few people. That's awesome. Most people don't have a plan for their life. You go to any seminar in finance, you ask people who's got a will, everybody goes, oh, I've got a will, that's great. You go, who's got a life plan? What's that? Well, it's the part that you know about that's going to happen in the next 30 years, not the hidden stuff that may happen later. Life design is one of the biggest things that each and every one of you should do. My life design is very simple. I love to travel. I love to hang out with cool people. I love to learn new things. I love to experience ancient culture. I like warm weather. So everything I have to do in my life revolves around that sort of thing. Dave and I started a business in 2012 with an idea that I had based on the fact that I didn't want to be cold in winter. The only idea was I didn't want to be cold in winter, so I had to do something in the northern hemisphere because the southern hemisphere is cold in winter, right? Because of that, in 16 weeks we made over $500,000 from me not wanting to be cold. It's pretty simple stuff. But you have to have a design. You have to know what you want for your life. You want a Ferrari? Do yourself a favour. Go and rent one. Rent one for a week. Drive it for a week. If you still want it at the end of the week, well, possibly you do want it. I always wanted a Porsche when I was in my 20s. When I was 27, I finally become successful enough to buy my Porsche. After 4 weeks, I was so sick of driving it. I had so many speeding tickets. I was targeted by the cops, and they always said to me, "Is this your dad's car?" And every time I stopped at a traffic light, people would just be looking at me. And I felt so exposed. It's a totally different thing once you get things, material things, than what you think it's going to be. And I find most people that have the most flashy material things are probably the brokest people, because their funding of that is just huge. They fund a lifestyle to make themselves look good to others, but internally they're broken and lost. Fascinating stuff. Okay, let's move on. That's all the negative stuff. Let's go into the positive stuff. Here's the number one thing I can teach you today to lengthen your life. Could everybody stand up, please? By the way, You always acknowledge people where you get great ideas from. Could you give Glenn a round of applause because this is his idea? Everybody just take a big deep breath in and let it out. One more. In and out. Now Glenn, what would you like them to do a little differently than that?
All right, yes.
Just very quick.
If everyone takes your big finger and your thumb and you squeeze them together and put the tongue on the roof of your mouth behind your teeth.
And now let's take another deep breath in, like that. And out. And one more. And out. Give yourselves a big round of applause and take a seat. Who noticed something a little different when you did the Glenn Levy method? More air. Exactly, Matthew. Thank you so much.
15% more, in fact.
15% more air intake. Closes the circuit on your lung meridian,
Yep.
correct? Which enables you to take in more air, and I believe that's good for you. Unless you're in the London Tube, do not do that in London, all right? But we forget to breathe. We spend all day shallow breathing. Those 4 breaths that we took have now actually woke you up a little bit. Been sitting here for the morning. We're getting through to lunch. We'll be about another 10 minutes, right? But that little breather will wake you up. I do it in my car now. If I'm at a traffic light, I'll just put my hands on the steering wheel and go, just breathe a couple of times. You become more healthy. And guess what? You'll live longer. And you have more energy. That's so funny. You know, Dave talked about Malaysia being, I love Malaysia, I really do as a country, but when people come in, oh, the traffic's so bad, I go, well, I seem to make it, and I don't live in Malaysia, but I can get here. You know, people have all these excuses. And they're like, oh, I'm so tired. Have you thought about breathing lately? Oh my God. It's always simple stuff. It really is. Whatever you're doing. I want to share with you just for 5 minutes the way the world really works. Because most of you have never been exposed to the way the world really works. You think it works in certain ways because that's been taught to you by your good-willing lecturers, your mum and your dad and your family and everything like that. But the world actually works entirely differently than that. It takes a while to actually believe this. So if you're hearing this for the first time, leave with an open mind, do your own research. I can't share too much more with you than that today. It works on a basis of vibration, which is the interaction of all things. Everything is connected. You've heard that. Right? Max Planck talked about something called the ether. The ether is the thing between things which connects everything. Michio Kaku designed string theory. String theory is the connection of strings of everything in the universe. The beautiful thing is that when he was nominated for a Nobel Prize for his work by the academia, actually string theory disproves the need for academics. Because you don't ever need to learn anything, because if string theory works, I think, oh, I need to pass that exam. How will I pass it? I'll just go do this. And that's actually true. I must have been a weird, wacky kid because I didn't like studying. So for my high school exam, I bought this two-penny book, old book on pyramids. I was already a nutcase by the time I was 17, but I bought this book on pyramids. So me and my best friend, we built a pyramid and we put it on top of our head as we were sleeping and put our school books underneath the pillow before the exam. And I promise you I never did any other study and I passed easily. These days I know that stuff works. It works differently. That symbol there is the greatest symbol on the history of the world. It's called the flower of life. The flower of life, you can go and research that. It's in all the ancient cultures. It's etched onto Abydos in Egypt. It's in the Indus Valley, where the Indian people started their civilization. That one particularly is actually out of China. It's in the I Ching. It's everywhere. Let me share with you what people knew. That's the actual symbol there of the flower of life. Why it's important, it's because the sacred geometry in that contains every musical note in the universe, frequency-wise, haven't got time to go into today, and every shape in the world, including the human form and everything from your iPhone to your dog, is in that shape. And all the ancient cultures knew it. In fact, that shape, when you wrap it around the world there, connects all the most sacred places in the world are connected through the flower of life pattern. Go and do your research. Everywhere where the ancient cultures went, the Giza Plateau, let's put 3 pyramids up here. We'll call them Menkaure, Khafre and Khefu. They did that because the energy there vibrationally is connected to the other sacred sites around the world. I'm going to share one in a minute. You see, Pythagoras knew this. He was the first person that actually came up with this. The ancient Greek philosopher. But Leonardo da Vinci knew this as well. In fact, he put it in many of his drawings. The Vitruvian Man, the 5-pointed star, is actually got all of the sacred geometry in it out of the flower of life. It's based on the flower of life. And you'll see that it's got the Star of David in there and many other things. And it also has the 5 Platonic solids, which is what Pythagoras discovered. And they're the only 5 three-dimensional shapes that exist on Earth, and everything is made out of those. You are a star tetrahedron. Go and do your research. This is how it works, right? So business works based on this, and I'm going to share the business side of this afternoon. And when you even look at the world itself, when you start to use the sacred geometry out of the world, you'll find, and this is a really interesting one, is that the Giza Plateau over here is actually connected to Machu Picchu there, and is connected to the North Pole and forms a perfect triangle, which if you break it down and put a line through the middle, there creates 2 Pythagorean triangles. And I can give you about 10 different examples of that in ancient sites. Angkor Wat's another one. We'll be there next week, Glenn. I'll share that with the group there. Vibration is why people go somewhere. So if you're alone, you're not going to experience vibration. And when you don't experience that, your thinking won't get to the level where you will be able to solve things. Einstein said about thinking that where you are now took some thought to get there, and if you try and use the same thought to get past there, you're not going to get past there. He's right. That's why for you guys coming here on Saturday, sitting here with us all day, if you walk out with 3 ideas that get you thinking, it doesn't matter who they come from. You know, Andrew had some great ideas in what he's presented. So it doesn't matter who it comes from. If you walk out with 3 ideas and just start thinking about that, the vibration of what's being created here is going to shift your energy so much. This is the way the world really works. The ancients never studied by rote. They never learnt that way. They studied by observation. That was where scholars came from. Where the study by rote came from is called academics. The word academia means trivia. Right? So we're learning trivia, most of it which we will never use in our life. And I don't understand why, if you want to do a business degree, why don't they just share the things that you have to do to get the degree? That'll take about 3 weeks, and then you can have your degree and go and start your business. May I share your story of your son the other day, Dave?
Sure. Which one?
Dave's son's selecting his subjects this year, and one of the courses is a business course. So Dave went to the person who's organising it, and he said, are the kids going to be running a business in the business course? And the person said no, and he said, why not? He said, because the object of this is not to make money. This is a business course. Yeah, but no, we're just going to teach them theory. Why would you teach them theory? Because you've probably never made money. You know what? You want to be entrepreneurs? Start a business today. If it fails, next, learn from it. Surround yourself with amazing people. You'll learn from every one of them. You don't think you can learn business from Glenn Levy? Oh, boy, did you miss that one. Oh, maybe next time you see him speak, it might register for you. Simple things. Vibration's the way the world works. The Egyptians talked about this, duality. That's off the Temple of Saqqara, the step pyramid. It's all etched on the wall from the Egyptian Book of the Dead. You know duality is yin and yang, love and hate, night and day, on and off, black and white. So that's the way the world is. We have dual sides to us, right and left. Yet, most of us are taught in business, we're in business, we make money. That's what business is about. No. That's wrong. Business is a balance of the material and the spiritual side of you, the entrepreneur. If you're just focused on the material and you're not focusing on the spiritual, guess what? There is an imbalance in you, vibrationally. You will start to feel alone. That is the result of that imbalance. But guess what? If you go the other way, and there's plenty of people in the world that do this, that focus all the way on the spiritual and not on the material, guess what? You'll be broke, hungry, and spiritually empowered. It's a balance. We're very spiritual people, but we do like to live the lifestyles that we like to live in the world because it's about lifestyle. It's the duality. Have a foot in both worlds. Spirituality, materialism, whatever your beliefs are about the world, foot in both worlds. See, back in the old days, we had swords, and we used to kill each other with swords. But most of you don't understand where language even came from, because if we just take those swords, the words there, letters, and reorganise them, the word sword spells words. These days, we kill people with our words. And the number one person we're killing with our words is us. And the way in which we do it is the way in which we spell. That's where spelling comes in. We are put in spells, and we put people in spells with words. Go and study where some of this stuff came from. It's phenomenal. When you look at the way the world really works, it's about spelling. So, in looking at words, I wanted to share with you some of the ways in which you're grabbing a big sword. What's your favourite sword, Glennie?
Katana, probably.
Big katana sword, and you're cutting off your own arm, stabbing yourself in the stomach, and really giving yourself a tough time. Because we can listen to you when you say, I need. Why would you want to be needy? But most people go, oh, I need this in my life. I need. I'm so needy. I want to make $1 million. I want it so bad. I want that Ferrari. I want. Very disempowering words. I don't want cancer. My uncle had cancer. I don't want cancer. I'm so focused on cancer that I know I'm going to get it, but I don't want it. You're attracting it to you, the world's vibration. Right? I hate it. What actually, go and study the word hate. You probably won't say it anymore. I deserve this. I've worked so hard, I deserve it. Funny what people get when they start deserving things. Now let's look at, say, some words that may be a little bit more empowering for you. I wish to experience. I am. This is a great one. You don't need or you don't want, you are. When you start saying you are, I am this, then suddenly you start becoming it. I have. I live. I love. And even when you say them, they feel different vibrationally than saying, I need, I want, I don't want, I hate. They sound different.
Mike, can you put that up for just another second, if possible?
Can you be quicker on your camera next time?
Sorry about that. My bad.
This is the one slide where I've got to click like 17 times. And we click again. And we click again. Everything else is on auto cue. I didn't put this one on auto cue. I feel so alone up here now. And live while I do this. What is that about? But here comes the good stuff. Maybe it's good to hear this again. I wish to experience. I am. I have. Focus on what you have, not what you don't have. I live. I love. Focus on those things. And as he's taking his photo. Let's recap, folks. We don't know who we are. It's the single biggest problem for people that are entrepreneurs. And I'm telling you, and you can believe this or not, that our experience is 95% of people don't know who they are. They're living their parents' lives, they're living the media's life, they're living their friends' lives, they're living where they feel they should be in society, they're not living what's in their heart. We feel alone. We are alone. Business is lonely. But we created it. We created this loneliness. We're using the swords on ourselves. I hate this. I need that. Just keep using those swords. We ask poor questions. How am I going to make more money? Forget the how. We don't understand how the world really works. And it's weird, and it's crazy, and it's wacky. But you just heard Glenn Levy tell you that he cured paralysis in his own body twice. Not once, twice in his life. by reverse hacking. They don't teach that in medical school. But it's vibrational. And it worked. And there's many other systems, not the only way to do that stuff. There's other systems to do that as well. So what I'd like to do is just share with you about what a transformational leader really is. It's a person who makes a difference daily. They're focused on being. We're human beings, not human doings, right? It's a balance of spirit and materialism, and somebody who has a greater purpose of life for themselves and those other people around them. And there's people here in this audience today that resonates with, that you feel that you may have heard that for the first time, or you may have heard it 100 times, but today you feel it. And when you feel it, and that speaks to you, then maybe you should do something about it. Because what we're about is taking the word alone and changing it by adding the love aspect to it, which brings it into all one. Just one morale. Because we can be all one. And still have our identities and enjoy our own lives and everything like that. So I want to share with you something that Glenn's part of, which is our Transformational Leaders Academy. And this is not going to be for all of you in the room. And in fact, we're not going to invite all of you to be part of this. But for some of you, it's really going to speak to you. We have two signature 3-day live events called Rock Your Business, which we've run here in Singapore and Malaysia in this part of the world, and Rock Your Life Mastery. Let me just share the Rock Your Business one, because you're all business people here. That's where we have people like myself, like Dave, like Paul and Matthias, who are very regular sages, meaning wise people that work with your business over a 3-day period. And we bring people like Glenn in, who works very specifically with people over a 3-day period. It's not a big group. It's a group probably the same size as this. So over 3 days of getting one-on-one, it's not us speaking on stage like this, it's us working with you. So it's 6 days of events plus 1-day events like this is part of what we call our academy, the Transformational Leaders Academy. We've had 10 years of creating products. I brought a sample of some of them, but there's over $15,000 of sacred information that if you go to our website and you purchase, for instance, this program here from Dave, Awareness, Understanding and Making It Happen, is a 4 CD set, very comprehensive workbook on getting you aware of who you are, understanding more about you and what you want, and actually making it happen. I'm going to share a couple of things about a couple of signature programs in there. I think there's about 40 to 50 programs in there, plus programs we've licensed off different other people like Glenn and other experts that we work with around the world. That's there for you to access. That picture there is our online community that everything is part of. You'll see all the members there up the top left-hand side. You'll see some of the videos that we're focusing on there at the moment, which is new stuff that we're releasing to the Academy. Michio Kaku's up there on string theory and doing something about the 11 dimensions of the universe. You know, we work with some of the top quantum physicists, scientists around the world as well. Brian Cox is another one that we're utilising various material from, because the world's actually about quantum physics. That's how it works. There's webinars. This is Core Love. He's an amazing guy on sacred geometry from Playa del Carmen in Mexico. And he's shared something with Dave and I recently, which I think is some of the most genius things on vibrationally doing stuff you've ever heard. And that is, every single one of us has had relationships, and we've broken up in those relationships with people, but there were parts of those people that we really loved. We may have hated that person after a while, but there was parts of those people that we really loved. So his little exercise is tapping into the part of that person that you really love, doing that in a meditation and bringing them into your current awareness, and then you'll see that in your current partner. So you'll actually fall in love at a higher level with your current partner, because you'll see all the aspects from previous partners that you loved more highly elated in your current partner. It's genius stuff. And of course, there's coaching clinics with Dave and Mike as well as part of the Transformational Leaders Academy. So some of the signature programs that are in here, I just want to share 3 very quickly. One more click. So we have the Rockstar Sage program. That's a 37 module program designed over 9 months. That was a $3,600 program just on itself that was sold for many years, which takes you from where you are now through stages to become the rock star of your industry, to get known, to use PR, Andrew, really, really well, to get your social media happening, Linda, at a much different level than understanding it now, to go and actually be able to publish your own books and do your own products and release things to get you to the top of the industry. The second one there, the Entrepreneur Success Program, is focused purely on entrepreneurship, another 37 module program, DVD programs, all online now, solid workbooks and MP3s as well, that all fit together so you can use parts of it or follow the whole program. That was a $4,500 program, that one itself, that we used to market. And the Ultimate Wealth Vault, for those of you that are really wealth focused and are focused on building your wealth, this has been put together by us for a lady who's New Zealand's #1 financial planner, and she's also a celebrity TV person on financial planning, writes for the Woman's Day magazine, and that's a $1,500 product. There's about 6 or 8 of these key products that are all part of the Academy, plus everything else, all of those books and everything you see there, and that's just a small portion of it. We don't travel with everything because we'll be lugging suitcases around the world. But it's easily identifiable as to what to get to, and it focuses on the areas of health, wealth creation, business, and general wisdom. 4 areas. Not just our technology, but technology on health, for instance, from Glenn and other health experts that we've got around us from all around the world. The events, Entrepreneur X Factor is a 1-day event, Rock Your Business Malaysia and Rock Your Life Mastery. So 2 3-day events there, another series of 1-day events. Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. The change is not going to come from out here, out here, out here, out here, out here, out here. It's going to come from within. But the only way it can come from within is if you're prepared to step up and be the leader that you're looking for in everybody else. I think you said it perfectly at the end of your talk, Glenn, when you shared the part about your parents, that you realised at that point where you had that terrible experience that the people you looked up to the most in the world were flawed. So therefore you had to become the master that you always sought somewhere else. But how do we do that? The answer is we surround ourselves by the people that we can learn off all over the world who can bring the best of the best to you. So the courses there are worth over $8,000 if you just go to the website and book up for them generally. $15,000 worth of products on health, wealth creation, wisdom and business. A global community of like minds creating positive change. Every one of these people that's part of this is not all about themselves. They're not a go-getter, they're a go-giver. They wish to communicate their gifts to the world as much as they wish to receive and improve. Webinars with very special guests and coaching clinics. And options, if you want them, to get certified, to get personal coaching one-on-one, or even to get a diploma in spiritual entrepreneurship. So if you wanted to take it the academic route, we have that way as well, all within this thing that we've created called the Academy. Glenn, just a quick thing. Pick one thing out of all of this that's really helped you define who you are now.
I think going through and actually knowing what my message was, why I was going through it, was my big one. When I discovered my why, I had so much emotion. It was like a volcano that opened up, and I created this huge amount of passion. So I had all this unfiltered passion, and then I guess the biggest part was taking that passion and having a system of steps to go through, where I started writing my book and creating DVDs and just having a knowledge about business, because I wasn't trained in business. I was trained in martial arts. but Mike actually gave me the perfect thing of going, that is business, and all my Sun Tzu and Lao Tzu I'd been reading for years, actually understanding that martial technique and life healing technique was all business. You just had to change the way that you perceived it, and that opened up my abilities and made me successful.
And I'm going to be sharing some of that this afternoon. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, one simple today only invitation to be part of this, to be join like the circle of people that are part of this around the world. We'd love some of you to step up and be part of this, but we do only have a pretty exclusive offer. You can go to our website today, and if you want to, you can buy this. It's only $3,500. If you go to our website and buy it, $3,595 for everything that we did there. And the reason why is because some people are buying it off the website, and that's good because they see the value because they've been engaged with us before. Some of you haven't been engaged with us before. So when I share this afternoon about one of the key things in business, which most business people don't do, which is be decisive, which holds you back from everything, I want to share with you something right now that for you guys, you can be decisive. Because it's not about thinking about something, it's about, yes, this resonates with me. I'd like to hang out with Glenn, Mike, Dave, Matthias, Paul and the others more often and learn all this stuff and be part of this and bring my greatness to the world. Well, no, I wouldn't. So it's pretty simple. So we're going to destroy that price and we're going to make it $2,495, and there's an ongoing membership. That's the application fee, and there's an ongoing membership of $30 a month, which you just continue to pay. So it's very, very, very simple. Or if the $2,495 is a little high for you, you can do it in 3 payments of $950 over the next 3 months and $30 a month to be part of this. So I just wanted to share one final little video, I think, which is just a little bit more on this.
Well, the work that Mike's already done on this is unbelievable. The years of putting this stuff together, and then you see it sit out in front of you of how much content is actually there.
I felt as though you were connecting with me as a person, you were interested in me, and I got responses and good communication. Coming along to this weekend, this event has been beyond belief. I've had the value that I never expected. The people, the access to the information, and the knowledge and the openness of people has been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. If I'd had to pay thousands and thousands more, I would have still gone away saying exactly the same thing.
This weekend has totally transformed my life because before I arrived, I felt like I was attempting a lot of things and getting nothing done. I've now come to understand myself, my personality, my strengths, and where I need to place myself in the world.
The last lady, Maria, that was taken a couple of years ago. She now has a lifestyle business. She was a solo mother on a benefit when she came to the Rock Your Business workshop. She now has a lifestyle business that she makes a significant 6-figure income on, operates it from home, takes her 2 hours a day, and the rest of her day is free. So much so that we're going into business with her on another idea in the next few months. Phenomenal, just applying the technologies. So our offer to you today is $2,495 to become a member of the Transformational Leaders Council and then Academy, and then $30 a month thereafter, or $950 in 3 payments. Because we're going to make it really simple for those of you that are action takers, because we have one other little bonus thing to throw in the mix. And here's our action bonus. Glenn's agreed to do 3 one-hour interviews on sharing with a select group of people reverse neural hacking, so you can actually put in place the processes to change the way that you see the world and to build things the way that he builds and accesses things, including his love of his life, Yvette, who he used this technique to actually find her at the same time as well. So it's very, very usable. I've used the technique myself on that case. Phenomenal. So Glenn's going to do 3 one-hour webinars, but we're only going to do that for 9 people. Only 9 people. So the first 9 people to go and see Dave or I at this break, and say you want to do this. If the payments don't work the way that for you that it's on the screen, talk to us. We may be able to do something else. You'll also get invited to spend those 3 hours with Glenn. Dave, back to you.